In the following lesson, I'll start covering the eraser tool, the blur tool, and the smudge tool. I bundled these three on purpose now because they are not too much to explain to and very simple. Let's start right away with the eraser tool. Right away at the top, you can again see it changes. We've got a few options. I do not want to cover all of these. You know most of them already. Again, the brush you can also now use as a brush. Again, pencil or a block. That's totally up to you how you want to have the eraser. That's the most important. And then also the opacity. Okay, let's also double tap on this. We open it, duplicate this layer, and right away, let's actually give this effect. We did this again previously in our layers class. Okay, also turn this off. So this is what our whole background looks like now. And what I want to do now is with this here, selecting the eraser, and very simple again, you can hold Control Alt together in order to make the diameter bigger and the hardness, change this again. Pretty much the same like the brush. So again, I'm going to make this a bit smaller, change also the hardness, and right away, let's make this even a bit smaller. I'm going to erase on this area here. So right away, we are erasing, as you guys can see here. So if I erase, that erases basically everything that we have on this layer. Like so. As you guys can see here, that's what we've erased now. Very simple tool. Once you mess up, you can just always go back to the history panel and go a step back or another step to undo. Let's also go over then to the next tool, which is the blur tool. Very simple as well. I'll zoom in a bit closer. Right away at the top, you'll get to see again, here are a few options to work with. Again, some darken, lighten, hue, saturation, color, or luminosity areas. And again, also some other strengths. Let's maybe take that up to 100%. Hold Control Alt together, move the diameter bigger. I'll change the hardness and right away show you what the blur tool does. So basically, it just blurs your image. Now it blurs at 100%. Okay, let's turn our bottom layer off and it slowly blurs everything that we have here in our shot. And now you've blurred this once, so this means you have blurred this at 100%. But if you go over this again, you'll blur it again with 100%. So the more you go over here, the more it will blur. Okay, the same over here. Let's actually go down a little bit. So now you see all the detail. If I make the brush a bit smaller and brush over this, right away we blur the whole edge. Pretty much the same effect as the smudging tool does, but this time the smudging tool also drags out the pixels a little bit. As you can see here, if we're painting like this, it will smudge a little bit. Again, smudging like crazy. Not so important, and to be honest, I've never used this in a retouching. It obviously gives you an effect, but obviously also destroys your pixels. Again, smudging over here, you can also hold Control Alt in order to change the diameter and hardness. The same goes again for the top menu bar. Again, you have some brush presets over here, which you can also work with. Now you also see the transfer, it's active, so play a little bit with this. Also over here, some blending options again, I think, with darken, lighten, hue, saturation, color, and luminosity. So you can just work in these areas. Okay, like you can see, now it just goes for luminosity. Okay, and the computer is rendering, quite hectic. Yep, and then again, also let's go back here to the setup, just to normal. I'll make this brush a bit smaller. As you guys can see, if I smudge over this, it just smudges the whole picture. A very unique and different type of tool, but in retouching, not used that much.